scan analysis, and interpret the reports for decision making, and use analytics ethically in educational, business, and social contexts. Now, let us see the purpose of advanced analytics in digital strategy. Advanced analytics extends beyond basic measurement to enable deeper understanding of user behavior, the performance patterns, and strategic outcomes. While introductory analytics focuses on observing activity, advanced analytics focuses on explanation, comparison, and improvement. In educational environments, advanced analytics helps evaluate the learning pathways and engagement quality. Excuse me. In business environments, it supports optimization of campaigns and experiences. In social initiatives, it assists in assessing outreach effectiveness. Advanced analytics therefore function as a decision support system rather than a reporting mechanism. So, for examples, evaluating the learning engagement across modules, understanding the effectiveness of campaign journeys, and identifying the participation trends in digital initiatives. Now, students, let me break it down to you and explain it to you in simple terms. What are the advanced Google Analytics techniques? In digital marketing, measuring the performance is very essential. Tools like Google Analytics help the marketers understand how users interact with websites and digital campaigns. Basic analytics shows simple data like traffic and page views. However, advanced Google Analytics techniques allow the marketers to gain deeper insights into user behavior, marketing performance, and conversion optimization. These techniques help businesses make data driven decisions. Now, let us see what is the structure and logic of Google Analytics. Google Analytics operates on a structured logic that organizes the data into users, sessions, and interactions. Understanding this structure is essential for meaning interpretation. Reports are designed to show how the users arrive, behave, and complete actions. Rather than viewing reports in isolation, the students must understand relationships between dimensions and metrics. This structural understanding prevents misinterpretation and supports analytical reasoning. So, for example, users versus sessions interpretation, interaction based analysis, and relationship between traffic sources and behavior. Now, let us see event tracking and interaction measurement. Event tracking allows measurement of specific user interactions beyond the page views. These interactions include clicks, downloads, video engagement, and form interactions. Event tracking provides granular insight into how the users engage with the content. Advanced use of event data helps identify the agreement quality and friction points. It supports even evidence based improvements to content and interface design. For example, tracking resource downloads, measuring the video engagement levels, and monitoring form interactions. Now, students, let me break it down and explain to you in simple terms. What is event tracking? Event tracking allows the marketers to track specific user interactions on a website. For example, button clicks, video plays, file downloads, form submissions, or what is the scroll depth. Instead of only measuring the page visits, event tracking helps understand how the users interact with content. So, for example, a marketer can track how many people click the buy now button. The next one is conversion tracking and goal setup. Conversion tracking measures whether users complete the desired results. So the common goals include newsletter signups, product purchases, contact form submissions, or even app downloads. By setting up goals in Google Analytics, marketers can measure the conversion rate and evaluate the campaign effectiveness. The next one is audience segmentation. Audience segmentation divides the users into groups based on behavior or characteristics. For example, new versus returning visitors, mobile versus desktop users, visitors from different countries, and traffic from different marketing channels. So, the segmentation helps the marketers analyze which audience groups perform better. Now, let us see the funnel analysis. A funnel shows the step by step journey users take before completing a conversation. So, the example funnel is first one, landing page visit. Number two, product page visit. Three, add to cart. Fourth, checkout. And the fifth one is purchase. So, funnel analysis helps identify the drop off points where the users leave the process. This helps the marketers improve the conversion rates. Now, let us move to the next topic, which is behavioral flow analysis. Behavior flow shows how the users navigate through a website. It answers questions like which page do users visit first, where do they go next, and which page causes users to exit. Understanding the user flow helps improve the website structure and user experience. Now let us see custom dashboards and reports. Advanced users create custom dashboards to track specific metrics. For examples, campaign performance dashboard, SEO performance dashboard, and social media traffic dashboard. Custom reports allow the marketers to focus on the most important data for business goals. Now, students, I'm going to give you all an activity and a task. So, please try to understand the key terminologies that we have discussed in this topic, which is purpose of advanced analytics in digital strategy and event tracking and interaction management. So please take down the notes and please take down the important terminologies that we have discussed in these two topics. And after you take down the notes of these two topics, and after you take down the notes of these two terminologies, then we shall move to the next topic. Now, students, let us move to the next topic: goal configuration and conversion measurement. Goals in Google Analytics represent defined outcomes aligned with objectives. Configuring goals enables the systematic measurement of success. Goals may include completions, submissions, or engagement milestones. Advanced goal analysis examines the pathways leading to completion. This approach helps identify barriers and opportunities for improvement. So, for example, measuring the course registration completion, tracking the inquiry submissions, and evaluating the engagement milestones. Integration with marketing tools. Advanced analytics often integrates with other marketing platforms such as advertising platforms, email marketing tools, customer relationship management systems. The integration helps the marketers track complete customer journeys across multiple channels. So, the importance of advanced analytics is the advanced techniques help the businesses, they help the audience understand the customer behavior, and they also help measure the campaign performance accurately. Now, this helps them to optimize the marketing strategies, improve the conversion rates, and increase the overall return on investment. So, these insights help the marketers make data driven decisions. Now, what happens is the advanced techniques in Google Analytics, they go beyond the basic traffic measurement. They allow marketers to analyze the detailed user behavior. They help them track the conversions and improve the overall marketing strategies. So in modern world, the data is not just information, it is a strategic asset that drives the growth and competitive advantage. Now let us see the audience segmentation and comparative analysis. Audience segmentation involves dividing the users into groups based on characteristics or behavior. The segmentation supports comparative analysis, revealing the differences in engagement and outcomes. Advanced segmentation enables the targeted insights without profiling the individuals. It helps the organizations tailor experiences responsibly. So, for example, comparing new and returning users, segmenting by engagement levels, and analyzing the behavior across access device. So, students, now I'm going to give you all an activity and a task. So, please try to understand the key terminologies that we have. Please try to understand the key terminologies that we have discussed and take down the notes of these examples that I have given to you. And once you're done preparing for this, once you're done taking the notes of the key terminologies, then we shall move to the next topic. So now students, let us move to the next topic, which is goal configuration and conversion measurement. The goals in Google Analytics represent the defined outcomes aligned with the objectives. Configuring the goals enables the systematic measurement of success. Goals may include the completions, submissions, or engagement milestones. Advanced goal analysis examines the pathways leading to completion. This approach helps identify the barriers and opportunities for improvement. So, for example, measuring the course registration completion, tracking the inquiry submissions, and evaluating the engagement milestones. So, now this brings us to audience segmentation and comparative analysis. Audience segmentation and comparative analysis. Audience segmentation involves dividing the users into groups based on the characteristics or behavior. Segmentation supports comparative analysis, revealing differences in engagement and outcomes. Advanced segmentation enables the targeted insights without profiling the individuals. It helps the organizations tailor the experiences responsibly. For example, comparing new and returning users, segmenting by engagement levels, and analyzing the behavior across access devices. Now, students, let me break it down for you so you will be able to understand. What is audience segmentation and comparative analysis? In digital marketing and analytics, not all users behave the same way. Different groups of people interact with websites and campaigns differently. To understand these differences, marketers use two important techniques: the audience segmentation and comparative analysis. These techniques help businesses make better marketing decisions based on data. Now, let us see audience segmentation. Audience segmentation means dividing the website visitors or customers into smaller groups based on their characteristics or behavior. So instead of analyzing all users together, marketers study the specific groups separately. So, common ways to segment an audience: number one, demographic segmentation based on age, gender, income, or education. The second one is geographic segmentation, which is based on location such as country, city, or religion. The third option is behavioral segmentation, which is based on user behavior like pages visited, purchases, or time spent on a website. The fourth option is device segmentation, the users accessing through mobile, desktop, or tablet. So, for example, suppose a website has 10,000 visitors, the segmentation may show 6,000 visitors from middle mobile devices and 4,000 visitors from desktop. This insight helps the marketers optimize the website for mobile users. Now let us see comparative analysis. Comparative analysis means comparing different sets of data to understand the performance differences. It helps the marketers evaluate what is working and what needs improvement. So the examples of comparative analysis is comparing two marketing campaigns, comparing traffic from social media versus search engines, and comparing the new users versus returning users. So, for example, if a marketer compares Instagram campaign equals to 500 conversions, then the email campaign is equal to 200 conversions. This analysis shows that the Instagram is more effective for that campaign. So now, students, I'm going to give you all an exercise and an activity. Please try to understand the key terminologies that we have discussed in in this two topics, which is configuration and conversion measurement, and audience segmentation and comparative analysis. So please take down the notes of these two important topics along with the key terminologies. And after you complete the taking notes of these two terminologies, then we shall move to the next topic. Okay, students, now let us move to the next topic. Traffic source and channel analysis. Traffic source analysis examines how the users arrive at digital platforms. The channels represent grouped sources that reflect the communication strategies. Understanding the channel performance supports strategic alignment. Advanced analysis considers not only volume but quality of engagement across channels. This approach supports informed resources allocation. For examples, evaluating the organic versus referral traffic, understanding the campaign driven visits, and accessing the engagement by source. Now, let us see the importance in digital marketing. Audience segmentation and comparative analysis help the marketers understand customer behavior, identify what are the high value audiences, improve the targeting strategies, optimize the marketing campaigns, and increase the conversion rates. So, in digital marketing, the audience segmentation helps identify different user groups. Comparative analysis helps compare their performance. So, together, they allow the marketers to analyze the data more effectively and make smarter marketing decisions. So, the better we understand our audience, the better we can design successful marketing strategies. Now let us see custom reports and dashboard interpretation. Custom reports and dashboards allow the users to focus on relevant indicators. They support the clarity and efficiency in analysis. Customization aligns analytics with specific objectives. Effective dashboards present actionable insights rather than excessive detail. So, interpretation requires contextual understanding and critical thinking. For example, academic performance dashboards, campaign monitoring dashboards, and engagement overview reports. Now, students, let me break it down for you and explain it to you in simple terms. Custom reports and dashboard interpretation. In digital marketing analytics, large amounts of data are collected from websites, campaigns, and social media platforms. To make sense of this data, the marketers use custom reports and dashboards. A custom report is a report designed to show specific metrics that are important for a particular business goal. A dashboard is a visual display that summarizes key data in charts, graphs, and tables. So, in custom reports, the custom reports allow the marketers to focus only on the data they need. Instead of viewing all available metrics, they can create the reports that track what is the website traffic resources, what is the campaign performance, what is the conversion rates, and who are the users. Now, students, I'm going to give you all an activity and a task. Please take down notes of these two topics, which is traffic source and channel analysis, custom reports and dashboard interpretation. And please write down and note down the key terminologies which we have discussed in this topic. So, only if you understand these terminologies, you will also be able to understand the overall foundations of digital marketing. So, please write down notes as these terminologies are very important. And once you finish taking down notes, then we shall move to the next topic. Now, students, let us move to the next topic: ethical use and data responsibility. Advanced analytics increases the responsibility. Ethical use requires transparency, respect for privacy, and responsible interpretation. Misuse of advanced tools can lead to intrusive or misleading conclusions. Students must understand ethical standards governing the data collection and analysis. So, responsible analytics builds trust and sustainability. For example, respecting the consent frameworks, anonymized data analysis, and transparent reporting practices. Now, students, let me break it down for you in simple terms. Ethical use and data responsibility. In today's digital world, organizations collect a large amount of user data through websites, mobile applications, and social media platforms. This data helps the businesses understand customer behavior and improve the services. However, with the ability to collect data comes a responsibility to use it ethically. Ethical use and data responsibility mean handling the user data in a way that is honest, transparent, and respectful of individual privacy. What is the ethical use of data? Ethical use of data refers to collecting the stories, analyzing and using data in a way that respects the privacy, maintains the transparency, and avoids the harm. Organizations should only collect the data they actually need and use it responsibly. Now, let us see the importance of data responsibility. Responsible data practices are important because they help to protect the user privacy, build the trust between organizations and customers, and prevent or misuse or exploitation of personal information. They ensure the compliance with legal and regulatory requirements. When the users trust that their data is safe, they are more likely to engage with digital platforms. Key principles of ethical data use: transparency. Organizations should clearly inform the users about what data is being collected and how it will be used. Consent. Users should give permission before their personal data is collected or used. Data protection. Companies must store and protect the data securely to prevent the data breaches or unauthorized access. Limited use. Data should only be used for for the purpose for which it was collected. Accountability. Organizations should take responsibility for how the data is managed and ensure ethical practices are followed. The fifth one is the risks of unethical data use. Improper handling of data can lead to loss of customer trust, legal penalties, reputation damage, and data breaches or misuse of personal information. These risks highlight why the ethical data management is very essential. So, students, ethical use of data and responsible data management are critical in the digital age. The organizations must ensure that the data is used in a way that protects the privacy, respects the user rights, and maintains the transparency. In simple terms, responsible data builds the brand trust, protects the individuals, and supports the sustainable digital practices. So now, students, we have come to the end of today's chapter. The key terminologies that we have discussed today are advanced analytics, event tracking, goal configuration, audience segmentation, and dashboards. So, once you have understood these five key terminologies which we have discussed today, then you will be able to answer the review questions. Now, let us go through the review questions. Explain the purpose of advanced analytics in digital strategy. Describe the structural logic of Google Analytics. Discuss the role of segmentation in analytics. Explain the ethical responsibility in advanced analytical use. Now, students, this brings us to the last part of today's chapter, which is an experiential activity. First, there will be given a scenario, and after you understand the scenario, then we will go through how to perform these five experiential activities. So now let us see the scenario. An online institution uses Google Analytics but focuses only on traffic numbers. By implementing event traffic, goal configuration, and segmentation, it gains a clearer insight into learning engagement. You can also analyze how advanced techniques improved the decision making. So, the first activity for today is report the exploration exercise. Let us see how do you do that. The first step is explore the analytics reports. The second step is identify the key dimensions. And the third step is to reflect on report purpose. That is how you perform report exploration exercise. The second activity for today is event identification task. Let us see how do you perform that. The first step is list the meaningful interactions. The second step is to classify as events. And the third step is to goal mapping exercise. The third step is to explain the relevance. So these three are the three steps that I need to perform the event identification task. Now, the third activity is goal mapping exercise. So, the first step is define an objective. The second step is to propose a measurable goal. And the third step is to justify the alignment. So, these three steps are the required steps to perform goal mapping exercise. Now, the fourth activity is segmentation analysis task. Let us see how do you perform that. The first step is identify the segmentation criteria. The second step is compare the behavior patterns. And the third step is to interpret the differences. So, these three are the three steps that are needed to perform the segmentation analysis task. Now, this brings us to the fifth activity for today, which is ethical reflection exercise. So, the first step is identify the data responsibility concerns. The second step is to discuss the safeguards. And the third step is to propose the ethical guidelines. So, these three are the three steps to perform ethical reflection exercise. So now, students, we have come to the end of today's chapter. We have successfully completed today's chapter. I hope you had a very informational and insightful session today. We have successfully completed today's chapter. So, thank you, students, for joining the link. I hope you had a very good session and informational session. So, please remember and try to understand the key terminologies that we have discussed for today. So now, as we have completed today's chapter, you can quit the link. So thank you, students. All the best for your examination, and I shall see you in the next coming chapters. So thank you, students. Now you can quit the link and exit the link. Thank you, students. Have a nice day. All the best.